Good evening, everybody. This is Kevin with the Crazy Bearded Christian. Today I've got a little bit of a treat for you. You see, I have got a little bit of a collection here, something that I really enjoy doing. Before I get started to the collection, one of the reasons that I got into this when I was about 4 years old, I was in my great-grandpa Robert's house, and I came across a little car wash token with a Model T Ford on it. And I found it, and remember how excited I was, and I ran to him and showed it to him, and of course he took it from me. And so I've always been interested in coins ever since that time. It reminds me of the story in Matthew when Jesus, they were getting ready to go pay the taxes. And he calls one of the disciples, tells him to go over, gets a fish out of the lake, or the Sea of Galilee, rather, and it has a 4 drachma coin in it, which is silver, and it was enough to pay 2 temple taxes for Jesus and for his disciple. And so I think that's pretty awesome. You know, coins have a huge history. And so I wanted to show you some of the coins I've got today, and I got a little bit of a special treat for you as well that I'm really excited about. I had 5 pennies up here, and one was a 1943 D steel penny. It is currently under my couch because I dropped it. So I will have to retrieve that, but I want to show you some things that came in this roll that I unwrapped. You see, I get some of these rolls off of eBay, and I wasn't expecting a whole lot from them. I paid, I think, $2 or $3 a roll, and mostly wheat pennies. However, I got a couple surprises in here, so I want to show you. So this is a 1955. Looks like there is no mark on it, but look how shiny this 1955 is. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that real well, but I'm going to hold it there. And as you can see here, it is definitely a 1 cent. Now, I know that I should probably be wearing cotton gloves with this. I wash my hands really good to kind of get the oil off, but I just want to show you a couple of these things. These are my favorite. I end up with mostly 1930s pennies. Second was probably a lot of the 1950s, a lot of 1940s, several 1920s, and a couple of the teens. But this is a 1903 Indian head. And one of the cool things about this one is it is in fairly good condition. Now, you can't really make out the Liberty on it, which is where a lot of the value's at. And that's okay with me because, again, I didn't pay a whole lot for this roll. This one you can still make out the Liberty on just faintly, and it is a 1908 Indian head that was in that same row. And here's another one. And so this one, again, you can just barely make out the top of the Liberty. It's a 1905 Indian head. Still in pretty decent condition. I mean, they're not horrible coins. This one's actually still, the 1903 still got a little bit of the red to it, so that's pretty cool. But the real treat here, and I'm going to set these aside so I don't lose them, is I am going to open a roll, and we're going to look through it on camera. And so the roll that I chose is the one that intrigued me the most. Now, supposedly, these are unsearched coins. If they are, then that's cool. But this one here, even though it doesn't have the Liberty showing, is a 1897 Indian head at the end of the roll. Now, I know what you're saying. It's a very good possibility that this coin may have been placed in there, and if it was, then so be it. But again, I'm only out a couple of bucks each roll, and so I'm not too upset about it. And so I'm going to open this on camera, and I'm going to see kind of what our spread is here. I have high hopes that we're going to get some decent coins. I'm going to expect a lot of 50s and 40s, a lot of coins that other collectors have probably went to, but I can see already that there are and I'll see if I can show this to you on the camera. There are at least 2 steel pennies in there. So we'll unwrap these, and I'm going to pull out the Indian head, and we're going to set it aside for a moment. And then we're going to pull out a couple of these others, and I'm going to kind of stack them up here. And then as I go through them on camera, I'm just going to set a couple of these other interesting ones off to the side. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, some shiny ones in there, too. Ooh, several steels in there. Now, that's not too bad. All right. Uh-oh, I'm losing stuff. All right, so we're going to set that to the side. We'll see if I can't retrieve that penny without knocking everything over. All righty. Okay. So I'm going to leave these in my hand for the time being. And I'm scratching my nose. My nose is itching, so let's set this over to the side as well. And set this to the side. And we're going to go after the really shiny penny. So the really shiny one is a 1956 D. Again, it's in really good shape. Something I've noticed, the last one had the 1955 that was really shiny too, so I'm kind of wondering how staged these are. This is a 1943. It looks like it has no mark on it. Maybe a D. Can't really tell. So there you go. You might want to see the back of it. So, you know, not the best condition. Still not horrible. This again's a 1943, no mark. Still 1 cent piece. So we'll set that over here. This is the Indian head, 1897. I'm going to see if there's a mark on it. It looks like there is. Might have been a mark at one time. Can't really tell anymore. So anyway, this is the 1897. Liberty is obviously gone. Can't really make it out at all. That's a shame because that's a nice looking penny. It's in good, well-worn condition. And so here's the back of it. That's one of my favorite ones so far. It's an old one. So let's see what we have here. So we went through the 2 stills and an Indian head. We have, and I'm going to go through this rather quickly, a 1926. So I'm going to kind of separate them by year. Here will be my 20s. We have a 1928. I know I didn't really show that to you. We have a 1936. So 30s will go here. We have a 1942. 40s. Now, mind, there's supposed to be 50 pennies in here, so we'll see. Another 1926. We have a 1919, so there's our first teen. That's pretty awesome. Put it right here. We have a 1957. Cool car year. 50s will go right there. A 1939. So we'll put our 30 penny there. What is that, the 30s pile? That is the 30s pile. Alrighty. 1950. You can hear my kids upstairs fighting. That's awesome. A 1935. And guys, most of these pennies are in pretty good shape, so I'm not too complaining here. This is a 1910, what appears to be an S. And again, it's in pretty decent shape. So 1910 S. I like that one already. Ooh, another Indian head. That's awesome. This one is kind of rough. I can just barely make out 1895. And I can just so faintly see the Liberty, but it's not enough to really count. The back's in pretty decent shape. So let me see if I can show this one to you. So an 1895 Indian head. And here's the back. I know my camera's probably not picking up too well enough. So that's my second Indian head. I'm liking that. I like the Indian head pennies. Here's a 1928. A 1939. I put the 28 in their own pile. There we go. Here's another steel penny. This is a 1943. Let's see. Appears to be a D. So that one's actually not in too terrible of a shape. Still, you know, circulated condition. 1917. Nice bright copper shining through there. Let's see. 1937. We have 1926. You know, I think I put that 37. I don't know why I'm doing this. There we go. Try to keep these straight. Alrighty. This one looks interesting. 1928. The 28's kind of wore, so this one's a little wore. I mean, these are in average circulated condition, I would say. Okay, this one here, a little dirty. 1926. It looks like that's been somebody's change box. A 1956D. So look, we've only gotten 4 50s coins so far, and we've gone through quite a bit of the pile, so I'm pretty happy about that. 1944D. It's our second 40s coin. Ooh, another 1919. Decent condition. Alrighty, let's see here. We have a 1956D. Spoke a little soon on the 50s, and we got 4 of them now. We have a 1927. Ooh, this one's got some toning. Now, let me explain toning real quick. Toning is when the coin has been exposed. Maybe it's set in coin box for a while. Maybe it has been washed or something. This one's got a little bit of rainbow toning to it. So let me see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it real well. But this one's got a little bit of toning around the edges and on Lincoln. So I like that one. So that's a 1927. So that one's definitely a good one. That was a really cool tone. Let's see. 1957. And 1950. Spoke a little soon on the 50s, guys. Ooh, what's this? Another Indian head. And I can, 1890, and I can barely make out the Liberty. Just so slightly. That one's actually got some really good definition to it. So let me show you this. So that's my 1890. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of my oldest ones yet. And as you can see the back of it here, some really good definition there. So that's my third Indian head that I've gotten in this pile. Now, I will say in my last row, I also had 3 Indian heads. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm kind of wondering if these weren't planted. So 1958, I didn't plant them, but I'm wondering if they weren't like this in a row. 1949, another Indian head. That's my 4th one this row. That's awesome. This one's a I can't tell if it's 1909 or 1900. I believe it says 1900, actually. The O on this was kind of war. Can't really make out the Liberty. Very nice. Shiny coin. Definitely used, circulated condition. As you can see, not too shabby. I'll take it. That's 4. All right. So then we have a 1945 penny. Go ahead to our 40s pile. A 1957D. We have a 1929. 1944. We have a 1939. Another 1919. Ooh, a 1957D. Little bit of toning. Most of it's copper color. 1944. 1939. 1945. Another shiny one. A 1958D. That's my 3rd shiny penny in this lot. 1953D. This one's interesting. Ooh, it's another 1919. A lot of 1919s in this one. That's interesting. This is 1944 and a 1941. So let me look at the pile and give you kind of the breakdown. So I can tell you most of these were 50s. However, not only were a lot of them 50s, we got a whole lot of Indian heads and stuff too. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to gently slide these into my coin box here. Just let them slide in there. I'm going to readjust my leg. He's going to sleep. Alrighty. So as you can see here, I got my big change box. Now, there's probably coin collectors out there going, oh, no, don't do that. Well, you know what? These are my coins. I do this out of enjoyment. And so, yeah, you see my Santa Claus pillow? I wasn't going to do this, but I think I'm going to open up another one. And so let's see what we got here. Actually, we'll pause and do another video. Guys, thank you for watching. That's it so far. I will make some more videos on these. God bless you.